Hello students, welcome to this economics class. In the second year, we have got two textbooks to study. The name of the first textbook is Introductory Microeconomics. The name of the second textbook is Introductory Macroeconomics. Now we will discuss the first textbook, that is Introductory Microeconomics. In this textbook, we have got about 6 chapters to study. The name of the first chapter is Introduction. Now let us discuss a topic from this chapter. The topic we are going to discuss is the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now we will discuss about microeconomics. The word micro is derived from Greek language mikros, M-I-K-R-O-S. It means small. It is a study of the individual units of the economy. For example, price of a commodity, salary of a person, or individual demand, profit of a company comes under this. Microeconomics has also got another name known as price theory. It is so called because it helps in the pricing of resources. Another thing about microeconomics is that it is called a worm's eye view analysis or worm's eye view. This is because it gives a clear and exact picture. A person's name is also associated with microeconomics. His name is Alfred Marshall. He is known as a proponent of microeconomics. So let's discuss about macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is a word derived from macros, M-A-K-R-O-S, meaning large. It is a study of the economy as a whole. It is a study of the aggregates, or it is related with the study of totality. For example, national income, GDP, bank rate, inflation, etc. And the name for macroeconomics is income theory. It is because it helps in the income determination. And it is also known as a bird's eye view analysis. It is so called because it gives a vast picture of the matter. A person's name is also associated with macroeconomics. His name is J.M. Keynes. He is known as the father of macroeconomics. Now, let's see the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. The next topic we are going to discuss is the central problems of an economy. Before we discuss about the central problems of an economy, we have to see certain reasons which are behind the central problems. There are about 3 reasons behind this. The first one is that human wants are unlimited. This is because the wants of a person is go on increasing day by day while compared to the resources. The second reason is that the resources are limited. This is because while comparing to the human wants, resources are said to be limited. Then the third reason is that the resources have alternative uses. That this is because, for example, if you can say that if you take land can be used for agriculture purposes as well as for construction purposes. Then we will discuss the central problems in detail. There are 3 central problems of an economy. The first one is what to produce. This is related with the allocation of resources. That means we have to decide the types of goods to be produced, whether we have to produce luxury goods or food, crops, etc. The next central problems of an economy is how to produce. How to produce is related with the techniques of production. That is, whether to use capital intensive techniques or labor intensive techniques. Capital intensive techniques means giving more importance to capital than of labor. That it does not mean that we are avoiding labor. The next technique is labor intensive techniques. In this, we are giving more importance to labor than our capital or machinery. But it does not mean that we are avoiding machinery. The third central problem is for whom to produce. For whom to produce, it is related with the distribution. There, we have to decide for whom we are distributing these produced goods. These are the three central problems of an economy. Then next topic we are going to discuss is about economic systems. There are two economic systems. First one, number one, capitalist economy. Capitalist economy is also called market economy. Here, the private persons is the authority of that economy. Their main motive is profit, while compared to the other. Here, for whom to produce, what to produce, and how to produce is being decided by the private persons. Okay, the second system is centrally planned economy. It is also called socialist economy. Here, the government is the main authority. The main motive behind is the welfare of the people. So, for whom to produce, what to produce, and how to produce is being decided by the government. Then the next topic is about the economic analysis. Here, we have got two types of economic analysis. First one is positive economics. Here, positive economic means what is, that is, how the economy acts, that is the present situation. The second economic analysis is normative economics. In normative economics is said to be what ought to be. It deals with what must be and what should be. So far we have discussed about 4 topics. Next we will see with the new topic in the next class. Thank you.